I'm quite curious to see what we get, because this team all day long has been kind of a mixed bag. We are underway in game number 1 after a little bit of a light show from the players to start things off. And it is JNaps who scores first. G2 shows no signs of nerves whatsoever.
You gotta love the veteran shot placement here. Good touch off the wall from Chicago, but JNaps sees that close post, and JBot probably thinks that shot's going behind him. No, sir, right at ya. And G2 strike first, and only took him 11 seconds.
It is JNaps clearing this one away, and quickly downfield goes G2. Look, they are not going to lose this series. If they don't come out on top, it will have to be because Zookeepers came out and beat them. And right now, G2 is not even affording Zookeepers that opportunity. It's Chicago adding another one here as G2 is well off and running.
And G2 are just living in that left-hand corner of the Zookeepers defense. 2 offensive pushes right into that corner and 2 goals resulting from it. Right now, Zookeepers really have to slow down the pace, and it's their job to make G2 play kind of a little bit slower, because right now G2 is just off of the chain. And Chicago, beautiful clear, and you see that clear going all the way downfield, reading the defense very well, putting it where all the Zookeepers weren't. That is what separates these teams, just those little minute differences.
JNaps, another opportunity, and he'll dump this one in as well. He might have got a little help from his friends on the other side, but again, it is just G2 just smothering Zookeepers in the early stages.
And again, it's that left-hand corner. Zookeepers got to do something to make G2 change their game plan up just a little bit. Go off the back wall, go for some infield passes, do something, because right now those corners, that's RLCS Season 1 meta. Working those corners, trying to throw the defense off. Gotta try and shake it up just a little bit. And here comes the first offensive push for the Zookeepers. And a clear turned away by JBot, but JNaps again, so quick to get up off that ball. Chicago can't get around Bambi, but that ball dangerously in that corner once again. And a good defensive stance there from the Zookeepers, but they've got a long way to go if they want to hang with G2.
This is a welcome sight for a lot of G2 fans because their offense has been stagnant at times. This goes downfield. The only teams that have scored fewer goals than G2 before this burst in game 1 here, Austin, again the team, these same Zookeepers, 8-Bit Esports, and Morning Light. And let me tell you something, if the only teams that have done something worse than you are named 8-Bit Esports and Morning Light, God bless them, they came to play. That's not where G2 wants to be. Yeah. They are taking the fight right at the Zookeepers here, and it is a breath of fresh air off the corner again, and Bambi has another clear.
Yeah, if all those teams you bring up make you go, who? Not company you want to be in. And JBot, good challenge there, but JNaps sitting back on defense, uses a lot of boost to get up, but puts it over to Chicago. Infield passing play turned away by Bambi, but they're not done. In comes Chicago again, and that one finds its mark. G2 up by 4 right at halftime.
This one finally technically comes from the right side, as again they camped out on the left, but more importantly they have camped out on the Zookeepers half of the field. Still almost half a game to go.
Camped
and
out.
G2,
I mean, yeah. At this point they're paying mortgage, they're living there.
Rent free at this point. Tool drop down for Bambi, a rare shot opportunity turned aside, and yeah, just one shot on target. That one didn't even register as one. So I guess unofficially 2 for the Zookeepers. But we saw this in the previous series, Subi. We saw a one-sided first game, and then that turned into a 5-game classic. Granted, G2 and E United, they're on slightly different ends of the competitive spectrum in North America. This would be popped up, nobody else forward, but JNaps still ends up with possession. It's just G2 is driving circles around Zookeepers right now.
Yeah, and their Zookeepers are just getting poor touches in the defensive half. Bambi, that's a great clear downfield, pushing it all the way down, but JNaps is easily going to catch that, and good challenge by Bambi, not allowing any time for JNaps to kind of shake things up on that wall. And Tool, good pinch. Push that into the corner, and this one flying away. Rizzo's going to get a look, but Bambi gets there first. And a nice bump from JNaps on J-Bot. And G2 once again starting up their offense in that left-hand corner.
JNaps, I think he's going for style points at this point, down to just a minute left here with the significant advantage. J-Bot beaten by JNaps, and yep, now they're just playing with their food. JNaps adds another. He's got a hat trick in game one.
They are firing on all cylinders at that point. That's a fantastic challenge, but the pass back from Rizzo, oh, thing of beauty. G2 Esports can't be slowed.
Why not just feed him more? This could be a long final minute if Zookeepers are not able to play just a little bit of defense. Do have the ball downfield in the G2 end, but only temporarily, as JNaps will get this deep into the corner again. They come up empty on the demo attempt in the net. Now Rizzo trying to drop this down for JNaps again, and that's going to be ricocheted off of Bambi. Another one to the crossbar. Tool is going to be a little slow getting there, but Rizzo just a touch slower. And again, the ball does end up on the G2 side for about 2 seconds. Maybe it'll stay there longer. Nope, never mind. Chicago. Back to JNaps. Drop down, and not yet, but now.
Oh, Chicago. Just waiting for that ball to fall underneath the crossbar. It didn't go fast enough. He gets a flip reset, but throws himself out of the way. There's Rizzo for the cleanup. And at this point, Stacks got 16 shots for G2 and only 1 for the Zookeepers. This has got to be one of the most lopsided victories we've ever seen in all of Rocket League in terms of just the shots on goal.
Well, Zookeepers were having quite the run through this tournament with a 2-1 run record, but that was before the Fire Nation attack, and G2 is all business here in the 4th round. They started with a blowout in game 1, and they did not ever want to stop scoring. It is as one-sided as it gets in the opener.
I mean, that's one way to make a statement, right, Stacks? You come out and say, yeah, you guys are not winning this match, and game 1s are what we call those statement makers, and I would say that's quite the statement. Just right off the bat, 11 seconds into the game, they get their first goal, and then quickly followed up with their second one just a mere 20 seconds later. These guys could not be slowed down on offense, and at this point, it's going to be all up to the Zookeepers on how game 2 starts. They've got to come out and try and slow things up, and I think it starts with some defensive demos to give themselves some space to try and get those clears.
They come in averaging about 9.5 shots per game. They could be averaging 20 when all is said and done here. They only had 17 in this first game. It is a fresh 5 minutes on the clock, and Zookeepers threatening off the opening kickoff. So often, though, Subi, we do see a blowout in game 1. Some bad habits tend to develop. You start to get a little overconfident, and then all of a sudden you let the other team back in. You get a little lax on defense. Somebody surprises you with a flip reset. That could still very well happen here with Zookeepers. They are professionals after all. This goes to Chicago, intercepted by Bambi. J-Bot thought about turning around, but Rizzo has this well ahead of time. And even Chicago beating J-Bot to that play, so J-Bot had to be patient. The collegiate player unable to get Zookeepers going, but now Tool will try. Bambi, backboard, drop down for Tool! And there is Zookeepers with their first goal and lead of the series.
The 1-2 punch to knock G2 back. This pass off the backboard, absolutely beautiful. Waterfalls back down, and Tool able to reel it in. Zookeepers coming out in game 2 and making a statement.
And will this be the reversal of fortune that I kind of alluded to a moment ago? Maybe not. Chicago almost found Rizzo. Will get up for this one in a hurry. Rizzo trying to drop one down for JNaps, and just getting in the way, I believe, was Bambi. This is going to be close, and J-Bot scrambles across to make the save. JNaps drop down again. G2 is just relentless on the Zookeeper side. When they get there, they will not be denied. JNAPS ties the game.
Beautiful passing play, but it all starts from the lateral play right in front of the box, just going left to right, right to left, back to left to right, and JNAPS in Chicago make the defense spin in circles. It opens up the net, and just like that, we're all tied up, Stacks.
Yeah, good luck against this G2 attack. Again, when they get set up, if you allow them second, third, or even fourth chance opportunities, they will starve you out. Rizzo is already there waiting to take some boost away, and he does so.
There it is.
Did take Chicago off the field, and that helped significantly.
Right, and that's that defensive demo that I was calling for, and you saw how much space it gave to them. The pressure was immediately relieved, and the offense just, oh my gosh, that shot almost on target. JNAPS he's feeling himself right now. That's incredible.
Chicago pops this out, and now JNAPS will have to clear, and he does so for Rizzo. No, he got it just a little too far downfield. J-Bot, well, that was an ambitious play, but he got to the ball, and it almost set up a goal, though JNAPS makes the save. I don't know how he kept that out.
I don't either, because I thought J-Bot got a touch on that, but just narrowly missing his mark. And demos are going to be one way that you can beat G2. This is a team that has a lot of history in the scene, and there goes Rizzo. There goes Chicago. There goes Tool. There's so many players up the pitch, leaves the net open, but J-Bot put it right side. Chicago spawned just in time to keep this match tied up.
Kill feed looked like the first 30 seconds of a battle royale. Tool getting this downfield as now we are back to 3-on-3 for however long. Rizzo gonna make a quick turn on this, and J-Bot had to jump in front of him. All tied up here in game 2 after G2 dominated the opening game, and they've got the lead in game 2.
Oh, you hate to see this as a defender. When you're sitting in net and your teammate's up on that back wall, you expect them to hit it, but a team bump comes out. J-Bot panics and backflips in midair. Leaves the net wide open for Chicago. G2 might have gotten away with one there, but hey, they come away with the lead, and at perfect timing as well.
And G2, very adept at scoring the ball in Rocket League. You cannot afford to give them opportunities that are this easy. Chicago now has 4 goals in the series as he puts G2 up by 2.
And they just make it look so easy. The Zookeepers were doing so well to hold them at bay, and I mean, just putting every amount of effort that they had into just trying to get shots on target. And then all it takes is one slip up, and just like that, G2 go up by 2.
Goes back to what Flashpoint had to rely on against Z United. Not trying to just outright beat them individually, but being better than the sum of your parts. That has to be especially true for a lot of teams against G2. Rizzo, slow play out of the corner. That just goes down for Chicago. He'll get a shot off, but it's Bambi that makes the save and stops us from getting any worse. Only for a moment. J-Bot scrambles over. He'll make a save as well. Chicago down to JNAPS. That's going to be just high. And a chance now for Zookeepers to get downfield. They don't take advantage as they are just... They're out of boost, they're out of position, they're out of touch. Now J-Bot can get this downfield. They have a numbers advantage, but JNAPS makes the stop.
And at this point, it all comes down to the defense of the Zookeepers. Can Bambi do anything? No. Great challenge by Rizzo. Send that one to the side, and Tool keeps the pressure up. Bambi got a demo, but it took too long for the ball to get to net. That is a great passing play out of the corner. Tool brings us back within 1.
Well, Tool has both the goals for the Zookeepers here, and again, you gotta find somebody, right? You gotta feed the hot hand. Can he get them level with 31 seconds left? Or will J-Bot and Bambi find that game-tying strike? Oh, Bambi put the brakes on, and I don't
He did not get the boost, no?
They got that boost. No, they didn't. But J-Bot is downfield for this. Bambi lurking at midfield. He's gonna have to make a quick turn to try and give J-Bot a chance. Instead, he'll have to play it himself, but no chance. He only had 20. Now JNAPS.
Oh, do it to him.
Downfield, nobody's home, but they could not put it away. Down to 3 seconds. J-Bot. Oh, he backflipped, but that actually probably put him in a better spot.
Oh, he missed it!
Tool as whiff! And J-Bot, I think he just got a touch to keep that in the air, but Zookeepers somehow kept that up a lot longer than I thought they would. But G2 does prevail, even if it was just a little hectic at the end.
My goodness, he might have pulled a hammy after that one. That's like seeing someone wind up for a big kick and just swing and miss. My goodness, you hate to see it. But at the end, G2 plays so well as a team together, and you saw at the very end there, the passing plays. JNaps get the touch. Rizzo's up on the wall, puts it towards mid for Chicago, and he just bombs it downfield, and all that just equals a bunch of time wasted off the clock. They didn't score a goal, but they didn't have to. They just had to keep it out of their own half, and right now, like you were saying earlier, G2 toying with their food, they got down there. They came back so easily, and right now, game 3, they just need to finish it out.
Like the big heavyweight villain against the scrappy little underdog in a movie. G2 just challenging Zookeepers. All right, give us your best shot. Stage 2 depends on it. Nope, they do not get their best shot. They get JNaps scoring 5 seconds in. We've seen over the past 8 games on this stream a goal in the first 40 or 50 seconds every game.
That angle was filthy that he got on that ball, and I just love how aggressive G2 always is on their challenges. They're not going to give you time. They're not going to give you space, so I do not know why the Zookeepers keep expecting that ball to roll towards them like they're in free play.
JNaps now with 5 goals in the series. That gives him 15 on the day. It would be 1 short of AJ on the Peeps, who leads everybody with his 16. Of course, the Peeps, they're done playing. Here's Rizzo. Around the boards for Chicago,
nice save.
And it's, what a save by J-Bot. Can he start Zookeepers downfield quickly? Not really, and G2, again, just content to make pass after pass. But that one's gotten away, so JNaps has to make a save.
But you'd like to see J-Bot there either pass it to Bambi, who's pushing forward on the wing, or Tool, who's kind of towards the side, perpendicular to him. Not just bomb it downfield, because JNap's going to save that every single time. You've got to come out with some creativity here, especially down 1 in a do-or-die situation.
Well, J-Bot did get to this over JNaps. Bambi tried to drop one down in Tool's direction, but Tool wasn't in position for it. He will throw this to the corner. Does get it down to the ground, but not central, and that's going to be a problem for the Zookeepers, because that means G2 can take over, but they don't get downfield. That's a great challenge in midair. Now J-Bot trying to get Chicago, and he came up empty.
Again, I'm going to call for Zookeepers and just say, go for some demos, open things up, because what you're doing right now isn't working at all. You can't get anything going midfield. You can barely break out of your defensive half. So give yourself a little more space, and double commits like that aren't going to work well in your favor either.
Tool will throw this across, full boost canister, but nobody home. J-Bot, all he can do to keep that out of the net. And now Bambi should be able to get this downfield. He didn't get cleanly past Chicago, but the ball is going the right way for the Zookeepers. That pops up. Tool is popped off the field. Nobody's going to be in position for this. JNaps almost had that roll off the back of his car and in, but he avoided that and will get the clear.
Rizzo saying, you guys are just sitting here in midfield waiting for passes. I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah, fish in a barrel.
Exactly. And Chicago, that's a cheeky little redirect there. Didn't go on target, but got it towards the net. And Rizzo, another demo for the scoreboard, and Chicago just keeps this pressure up. J-Bot gonna bomb it downfield, but Rizzo waiting on this side wall from that pass from JNaps. I love the clears you continue to see, and that's open. Chicago squeezes it in the bottom left-hand corner and gives themselves a little more room here in game number 3.
Yeah, this is all after JNaps was able to hit Rizzo with a ball from deep in the G2 zone. They got downfield so quickly. And Zookeepers, there was a defender with a big whiff just wide of the goal, and that opened everything up for G2, and they almost put it away for good. But that save by Tool gives Zookeepers just a little bit of life. They've got to get downfield. They've got to get out of their own zone and relieve this pressure as it is stifling from G2, and Rizzo scores for the second time as well.
Rizzo picking the pocket here of J-Bot. I'll take that, thank you very much, and gonna give themselves a big lead here going into the final minute and 40 seconds. Zookeepers, it's time to throw caution to the wind and just go all out and full send it.
This is gearing up to be by far the fastest series that Zookeepers have played. They've gone to 5 games in each of the other 3 matches, with wins over Charlotte and Rogue before falling to the Peeps in the previous round. Here's Chicago. They're about to fall 3-zip to G2 unless they've got a miracle up their sleeve. Tool didn't get it centered. It's going back to an empty net unless J-Bot can get there. He can't. J-Naps adds another.
And, I mean, at this point, Zookeepers had to go for that. You have to just push all 3 past midfield. But hey, you miss it. This is exactly what's going to happen, and G2 punishes them. Looks like they're going to get the easy, clean 3-0 sweep. And up until about 20 seconds ago, Stacks, Zookeepers had only 2 shots. They're sitting on 4 right now, but game 1, they had 1, and game 3, they've got 4, and that's no way to get your job done.
Yeah, especially against a team like G2 that they will put tons of shots on. They have, we're going to do quick caster math, 34 shots over the 3 games of this series. Popped away by Chicago, and they may get a few more here in the final 40 seconds with this one just about decided. Bambi will end up collecting this ball almost by accident as it got through the G2 attackers. Comes up empty again, and now we are just playing this out for the sake of formality and seeing how many is G2 going to put on Rizzo. Little shake and bake move almost got one through. And now Chicago opting for the more traditional, just put the ball at the net approach. And that is how the rest was won. 5-zip now to G2.
I self-muted myself, bro. I'm sorry.
Good job. Good job.
I was doing my best Stacks cosplay.
Sure. Well, you know what? You're like the Zookeepers offense right now. They have been deathly silent.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that. You're going to get a good one from me. And GG's already being tossed out in chat between all of the players. You love to see it. And Chicago throwing out a good luck there because Zookeepers still have one more match to try and make it to next weekend. And speaking of Chicago, just to get sentimental for a moment, how great is it, Stacks, as a former Rival Series caster, seeing Chicago climb the ranks, going from Rival Series all the way to G2 and turning himself into one of the most dominant players in North America?
You know, at the risk of being super sappy, shed a little tear when I saw him play at the World Championship back in in Vegas with Evil Geniuses. That was a great moment. He handled himself very well there, and now you see him on this G2 roster, and boy, did he take over. A hat trick in the clinching game, part of a 7-goal effort from Chicago alone. I mean, I think he had... Yeah, my goodness. You look at Zookeepers on the other side, they only have 2 goals, 1 assist each from Bambi and J-Bot. The good news is they've got a little bit of time to kind of recollect themselves here before they go into their 5th round match, where now their tournament lives will be on the line as they try to get into stage 2, as G2 has just done.
Hey, Stacks, before we throw to break and everything, can you scoot your head to the left just a little bit?
To my left?
Yeah.
How about
right there, and scoot up a little bit. Can you raise up a little bit? Perfect. Get those screenshots, boys. Look at that.
Yeah, big. That's for Shogi.
The big bear right is there. In chat right now. We love it.
There we go. Well, hey, that's about the only thing animal related that went well in this particular series of Zookeepers.
Ouch.
Get swept by G2. G2 is going on to stage 2. So once again, we invite you to let us know what you think of everything that has gone on here. If you want to see and hear less of Subi, please, let us know on Twitter at RL Esports. Use the hashtag RLCSX. FDOT does read all of the tweets, at least when we let him out of his cage. So, round 5 is coming up, and we will have, we know Zookeepers will be playing. We know that E United will be playing as they kept their tournament alive. Find out who's playing where and when we come back.